to remind me that you're looking at me.
Welcome to the duo of introverts as they do a webinar. Hope you enjoy it, everybody.
Yeah, I was seriously thinking about wearing my sunglasses, and I almost made my little sunblock as a little circle, but then I thought that would look a little too weird with the halo behind me. So trying to be a little normal, just a little. So anyways, welcome everyone to the Moon Gathering Talk, and I just want to thank Brenda for all her techno magic to make this all happen. It's such an honor to just be able to show up and not have to stress about any of the other people's techno stuff. It's just bad enough with my own. So anyways, tonight we're going to talk about the moon in Taurus. So as I was sitting with this chart and just kind of feeling in, and a lot of the content that I get comes through the week and dealing with people. It's like when people ask me questions or freaking out about particular subjects, I kind of take it as a weather report for the collective. So it's like by listening to my clients and where they're having issues and looking inward and where I'm having issues kind of helps me describe what I want to talk about in the chart. And so to begin with, I want to kind of reiterate the subject that I've been talking about, I think in every one of them. It's the cycles within the cycles. So we're doing this moon cycle, which is a small cycle, happens every month, twice a month. But there's the yearly cycle, there's the multiple yearly cycle, there's the multiple lifetime cycles. And all these different cycles work within each other. So the moon cycle, the real quick one, helps you kind of understand how to navigate the bigger cycles. So the yearly cycle. So right now, both the moon and the sun are in Taurus. And Taurus is an interesting energy. Aries is like, jump forward, let's get it done. And Taurus is all like, wait a minute, should we even get it done? Why should we get it done? And Taurus's answer to why we should get it done is does it make me happy? Does it make me comfortable? Does it make me warm? Is it beautiful? Is it nice? Is it soft and fuzzy? It's not. Taurus is like, forget it then. Taurus is the creature comforts of the zodiac. It's what really grounds us, what calms us down. A lot of times when you're looking at Taurus from a karmic perspective, you're here to calm down, relax, enjoy. So the moon, the sun are in the sign of Taurus, and they're in agreement in the sign of Taurus. When one thing about the new moon that's different than all other moon cycles is the moon and the sun are working together. They're not disagreeing. They're kind of like, I want Taurus, you want Taurus, let's make Taurus. Versus the full moon, the sun's going to be in Taurus and the moon's going to be in Scorpio. Very different energies. So one of the other aspects, the cycles that I want to talk about, and I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but the phase of the moon that we're in right now is the, now my brain went blank on the detail. It's the balsamic, it's the spooky moon. So the moon is at the very end. It has not become a new moon. Right now in the sky, the moon's at the very end of the cycle. And this is a very good time to kind of evaluate. It's a good time to just kind of slow down and really look within, look deep, and understand what has gone on. What are you integrating? You know, once the new moon starts in a couple of days, that's the initiation. That's the start of the cycle all over again. So technically, we're not at the new moon yet. We're kind of sitting in the closing of the moon cycle from last time. So with that said, enjoyment, that Taurus energy. Let me just pull up my notes here so I can. So yeah, Taurus really wants it to slow down, wants you to really, what is benefiting you? So as with every sign, there's planets that are affiliated. Taurus is ruled or affiliated with Venus. Now, Venus in the sky right now is still in Aries, so it's still kind of fired up, kind of anxious, wants to get things done, wants excitement, wants enjoyment. Mercury's still sitting there in Aries with Venus right now. So we have the sun and moon are kind of sitting in Taurus, but Venus is kind of like the ruler of both the sun and moon is still in Aries, still kind of wanting to initiate, start, break the ice, take action. So with this smaller monthly cycles, we start going into the yearly cycle, you know, so we just had the astrological new year where we kind of initiate, start, and then once the sun moves into Taurus, it's a time to reevaluate. It's like, do we really want to make this happen? What are the resources it's going to take to make this happen? What are the benefits we get if we make this happen? It's kind of what the Taurus time is about. It's like that Aries time is start, initiate. And now the Taurus is like, okay, so we started something. Do we really want to make this happen? Is the Taurus. And so Aries, which rules both the Venus and the Mercury right now, is ruled by Mars. And Mars is still sitting in Gemini. And I talked a little bit about this last time. I'm going to go a little deeper into it. And I'm going to talk about some of the other planets that are aspecting that Mars. So Gemini is endless possibilities. Mars is assertiveness, taking action, facing your fears. Mars is kind of like, what is the underlying passion that motivates us? You know, so in Gemini, it's like looking at all the different possibilities where we're holding ourselves back is one way to look at it. So I'm going to go a little deeper into that part of Mars and Gemini. Now, Mars and Gemini represent all sorts of different things. I'm going to only look at some small section of it because it makes sense to the rest of what's going on in the chart. So Mars and Gemini, where are you holding yourself back? Where are you not taking action? Where is the fear keeping you from? Where is your ability to see the possibility limiting you? You know, because it's like we've talked about this a lot, you know, that it's like what's in your life is what you believe. If you believe it, you can have it in your life. So if you don't have it in your life, fundamentally, you're unable to believe it, you're unable to see it. So that Gemini Mars is kind of like, oh, so what is the limiting beliefs that are keeping you from having what you truly desire, that Mars? You know, and going back to the Venus, going back to the Taurus, it's like, so how good can life be? How comfortable is your life? How much joy and enjoyment do you have in your life? And then the big question is why? Why do you not have more? Do you believe you deserve more? Do you believe more is possible? Well, that Mars and Gemini is there saying, yeah, it's all possible. You know, and so then we go back to why is it not in your life? So we can then start to look at some of the other planets that are aspecting that Mars and some of the bigger cycles. Let me just do a little rearranging. So right now, Mars sits in Gemini, opposed Jupiter in Sagittarius. So Jupiter in Sagittarius is a 12-year cycle. Approximately every 12 years, Jupiter comes around to Sagittarius. So it's the cycles and within cycles. So Jupiter is how we interact, how we connect with the divine, how we actually manifest it in the physical world. In the sign of Sagittarius, the sign that naturally affiliates with Jupiter, and there's tension by Mars. So it's kind of like there's this tension of Mars, what's possible, what do I want, you know, and then in tension to Jupiter, how we manifest, how we're lucky, how we allow ourselves to receive, how we bring that divine inspiration into the physical world. So the other thing that's actually in tension to this right now is the actual planet of Neptune in Pisces. And the more and more I sit in this concept of cycles within cycles, the overarching cycle that everything is working to help manifest is this Neptune cycle. And in classic Neptune style, the actual number of the years of the cycle, I'm going to just take a wild guess at, and I know I'm not exact, but it's close enough for Neptune. I want to say it's about 250 years. Google will tell you the exact. So Neptune cycle, when Neptune gets into the sign that it's naturally affiliated, it's a very, very powerful planet. Any planet that's in its sign that's naturally affiliated makes it even stronger, or in the house that it's naturally affiliated. So Neptune is the window into the divine. It is the glass that we look into to see all that's possible that's outside of the physical reality. A couple things around historical Neptune in Pisces, big religious changes around the globe. There's very often, anytime Neptune enters into Pisces, there's an emergence of a new or a popular religion, kind of the changing of the guard. So one of the things that's happening right now is as a collective, you know, religion with all its good and all its bad represents how we use our belief system to interact with the spirit world. So it's like as Neptune comes in and allows us to have different belief systems, then we can start interacting with the spirit world differently, or the divine world, or all the non-physical world differently. And so every time this cycle happens, the planet is being asked to bring in a new belief system, a new religion. And Jupiter is the planet, Sagittarius is the sign of belief systems. And interestingly, in the zodiac chart, Neptune and Jupiter sit in square to each other. Pisces and Sag sit in square to each other. So there's always tension between what is possible, that divine, and what our little p human brains allow to be possible, what we can believe, what we can manifest. And so we're all sitting in this tension right now. The whole planet as a whole is sitting in this tension, but also each of us individually are sitting in this tension. And I mentioned this last time, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. But this Saturn, Pluto, and the south node of the moon that are now traveling retrograde, which is going backwards as far as our observation from the Earth. They're actually not going backwards. It's just when we look at them, they look like they're going backwards in the night sky. And so this is a very significant transit that's happening for about 6 months. And part of the significance, anytime you're dealing with Pluto, you're dealing with something extremely significant. Pluto transits are transits that no one ever misses. Even if you're not an astrologer, you're not into astrology, you know you're in a Pluto transit because of the intensity of the things you're working through. So Pluto sitting in Capricorn next to the south node of the moon is really asking us to look at the subconscious. That's what Pluto rules. Pluto rules all the subconscious activity. It rules what is truly possible. And what's in between what is truly possible, what we're truly capable of, what our soul truly desires, is our limiting beliefs. It is our subconscious beliefs that are ruling from the underworld, so to speak. So retrograde, looking within. Pluto retrograde, looking within to the subconscious. So just that all by itself, we could spend hours talking about it, but I want to add another significant piece to the puzzle, and that's the south node of the moon. So from a karmic perspective, the south node of the moon represents the karma that's ripe for you in this time. So wherever the south node of the moon is means that we're working through karma in that particular house, in that particular sign. So as you're listening to me, if anyone knows where Capricorn sits in their chart and can let me know the particular house, I'll actually spend a little time talking about that particular house. So
everybody's like rushing to their charts now. Go on. Nobody's going to pay attention to you now, Ralph.
That's good. I'll put my sunglasses back on. So the south node of the moon, from a karmic perspective, so generally what happens is some traumatic event happens in a lifetime, either something that you did or something that happened to you. You know, so let's say, just for a hypothetical situation, you were a soldier in the last lifetime, and you ended up doing something that was very horrific or very difficult to love yourself with. And I'm using this particular example for a reason, and that is to love yourself. And so if you, let's say, hurt someone or killed someone because you were, the circumstances of the world, you were a soldier and it was either kill someone or die, and you didn't have the courage to do something different, or not even courage, it's like the circumstances forced you into doing something that then you have to live with or try to live with. And I hope no one on this call has ever killed anyone, either by accident, on purpose, or whatever. But the thought of trying to live with yourself after doing that is the underlying concept that helps us understand how this happens. So the question might be, so if you were to kill someone, how long would it take for you to integrate that into your life, back into your whole? How long would it be all right? Would it take for you to be all right with that part of you, to love that part of you, to accept that part of you? Well, some might say multiple lifetimes. And, you know, some people might do it in one lifetime. Some people might do it in several lifetimes. It may take you several lifetimes before you can even remember. I don't know about you personally, but if I had remembered personally killing someone, I would be in a corner crying. I wouldn't be able to stand up in front of people. It would be so overwhelming to my sensitive psyche to actually think that I've done something like that. So what happens is the soul, the psyche, incarnates into lifetimes or life experiences that soften, you know, that wound to help you integrate it. So generally what happens is the terrific, horrific karmic wounds get implanted into the current lifetime with Pluto's subconscious. So like, let's say, just going with this example, you know, you might incarnate into a life where you lose someone young, you lose a parent young, or you have a traumatic death in your childhood that lays down subconscious memories. So just like a hypothetical example, if you're a young kid and you lose a parent to an automobile accident, you might make some kind of an assumption that I got my parent upset, that's why they got in the car and that's why they died, and I don't ever get anyone upset anymore because it kills people. And so you could see how, from a karmic perspective, that warrior got upset and killed someone. Now this little child comes into this incarnation thinking, oh, I get upset, I kill people. Even though them getting upset, their parents getting upset with them had nothing to do with the car accident, this little soul has this belief that, if I upset people, they end up dying, so I don't upset people. Well, then let's fast forward to 50 years old, and this person is frustrated, struggling, and really mad at the world because everyone wants to walk all over them. That's what they say. I don't know what it is. Everyone walks all over me. And it's part of what's going on is that the world wants to push back, wants to know where your limits are. And if you're not willing to say no, risking upsetting, from a subconscious mind, you say no, you upset the person, someone dies. You don't say no, you don't upset the person, no one dies, everything's safe. And I'm talking from a karmic perspective, so it doesn't really kind of make sense in the rational world, but this is kind of how the subconscious will kind of manifest things. So fast forward to this time where you have Pluto and the South Node working together. And I want to bring in one other planet, and that's Saturn. So Saturn is in Capricorn, natural affiliated to Capricorn. And Capricorn is the structure. It's the foundation that we build life on. It's how we focus ourselves, how we get things done over long periods of time. It's the grit. It's the part that gets you up in the morning to get things done, is all Capricorn Saturns. So from a karmic perspective, if we go back to this soul that's incarnated with this belief that if they upset someone, people die, and so they never upset anyone. And then they're struggling in the world because everyone takes advantage of them. They're, constantly not being able to get what they want. The opportunities of life seem to go by because of this subconscious belief that's not in their conscious, not even necessarily coming from this lifetime. So anyways, the summer of love is upon us. And part of what the summer of love, or what the cycle is really asking us, is to love that part of you. Love that part of yourself. Love the part of you that manifests people taking advantage of you, or whatever it is. I'm just using this as a hypothetical example. But so one of the things that I would suggest looking at right now is, where are you frustrated? Where are people annoying you? Where are you getting upset with either the world or yourself or other people? And then, rather than projecting that out into the world, it's a great time to look inwardly, to look at the inward manifestation. And the more time, the more energy you focus looking inward, the more you're going to deal with the subconscious belief systems that are keeping you locked into this karmic trap and allowing yourself to really truly love yourself. And the more you love yourself, the more you can allow yourself to have that beautiful Taurus sensual experience of life being good. Life is, here to enjoy. So we have about 6 months of this. It's just kind of started. So one of the things I've been noticing with a lot of my clients is that it's really ripe for some very heavy belief work. So like, here's a personal example that I've been working with for a while, and I've just had some major breakthroughs in the last couple of weeks. So for me, I had a fairly traumatic childhood in the sense that my mom was overwhelmed with many children. And it's been one of the things that's been really hard for me to integrate into my life. And one of the ways in which my subconscious tells me is that if I have, if someone is stressed out, then they don't have time for my needs. And being a super sensitive, empathic person like I am, people are always stressed out. And so then my subconscious is like, oh, I don't have any needs. And so the more I started to unpack that, the more then I started to realize, it's like, oh, wait a minute, now I'm seeing what I'm doing. It's like I'm seeing their stressed outness. So then I'm all like, oh, I can't put a need on them now. And then all of a sudden, I'm unable to get what I truly need. I don't know if that made sense or not, but that's kind of how this is manifesting for me right now, unpacking this transit. So one of the things and one of the ways to easily look at this is to look at the things that are upsetting me. Look at the things that are not working. And really ask the question is, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? What is the karmic the karmic ripples that are unfolding in this interaction? And rather than projecting it onto, oh, my boss is an asshole, or the politicians are this, or whatever, look inward. It's like, what is this boss that's agitating me really trying to teach me? Am I not standing up for myself, possibly? Or am I not feeling like I deserve a better job, or that I'm worthy of a better job, or if I'm worthy of a boss that, and then the more you kind of really look into that and unpack that, the more you can start to tear down those structures that no longer serve you. And so this is that Saturn, Pluto, south node of the moon. It's a great opportunity this summer to really kind of let go of things, work through the karmic. So one of the things I do in my practice is that I spend a lot of time to help people understand where the karmic wound is. And the more you can understand the karmic wound, then the more you can start to see it manifest in the subconscious, or this lifetime Pluto wound. And then the more you see it, the more you start to pinpoint it, the more you can start to transform it. And that's part of the reason why I was saying last time that, it's a good time to book a session with Brenda. And it's not so much like just booking a session with Brenda, but it's this, with the work that Brenda's doing, it's helping you instantaneously, just let go of it, heal it, move through it, and so the more you work on that right now, the more the planets are in line to help you on that. Does that make sense? Did that make sense, Brenda?
Yes.
All right, so who do we got going on?
Can you read that on your side with
I can.
Okay, great.
Neptune and Jupiter, Capricorn, X house. Is that the 10th house? Are you doing Roman numerals on me?
Yes.
Oh dear, you're like really trying to get me in. That's like my mental brain. I'm in my spiritual brain. Okay,
Think,
so
Ralph,
that,
think.
all right, so Neptune and Jupiter. Okay, so Capricorn in the 10th house, Venus, Capricorn in the, okay, so I'm not sure I'm following all this. Let me, oh, okay. So Capricorn in the 10th house. Um, Interestingly enough, Capricorn naturally rules the 10th house. So to have Capricorn and have all this transits in the 10th house, Sahara, this is,
Do you see what she wrote, Ralph?
yes, 10th,
Okay.
11th, yeah. So um, I want to just collectively give you a big hug right now. I would imagine that you've had some powerful couple of years right now. And then looking at your childhood mother experience. Wow, that's kind of weird that I even said that. I guess I was tuning right into that. So the 10th house is the public house. The 10th house is what you get done out in the world, what you're seen as, how the people who don't really know you interact with you. So for instance, the interaction you're having with both Brenda and I is a 10th house experience. You don't really know us, but you know, like, so it's like, you know me as an astrologer, you know Brenda as a theta healer. That is a 10th house relationship. So when you have Saturn, Capricorn up there, and Pluto in the South Node, so it's being seen was part of the wound. The other thing about the Capricorn, and I think this will actually speak volumes to you, having your mother die, especially as a young girl, puts a ginormous amount of responsibility on you that I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to put a qualifier on that. So from a karmic perspective, South Node in the 10th house, you're looking at where your sense of responsibility overrides your own needs, would be kind of the overarching theme there. So it's kind of like, do I deserve? It's a lot about what I was talking about with my experience about how if you're a sensitive person, if you're tuned into people, it's a lot easier to see other people's needs. One of the ways I like to talk about this particular subject is I use the concept of a crying baby. I call it the crying baby syndrome. And that is when a baby cries, everyone stops everything and focuses on the baby's needs. And when they're a young baby, that's a good thing. It helps us all get to old age. But when they're a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old baby, and they have realized that if they cry, you will drop everything. And that usually will work for a few years. It may take you up to like 50 or so. You're starting like, wait a minute. It's like they're just always in an issue. It's interesting. I came up with a poem yesterday on this particular subject. Let's see if I can come out of my head with it. I have needs. They do matter regardless of how crazy your life is. And so part of what you're learning how to do in this lifetime with this transit is to be like, oh yeah, I hear you're freaking out, but you know what? I'm not, and I need to go hang out with my dog and pet my dog for a little while because that's what I need. And I'm sorry that you're freaking out, but I'm not. And so that's kind of one of the ways I would look at that. So the North Node's in the fourth house, looking at where your moon is and really looking at how you nurture yourself. And this Taurus moon, new moon that's about to happen, a good thing for you to start with, a good thing for you to start is, what am I going to do to take care of myself this month? What new habit am I going to do? How am I going to put my needs above the needs of others? Where am I not meeting my needs? How am I not believing that I deserve those needs? I see Brenda writing over there. She's taking notes. All right. Yeah, this is going to be a very powerful time for everyone right now. So let me just look at my notes. I think I'm pretty much there. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. So, yeah, there's one other thing. Let me come back to. So I want to talk about this Neptune overarching cycle. I believe that we're spirits having a physical experience. We're not physical bodies having a spiritual experience. And Neptune is kind of the ruler of this realm. Neptune's like the big planet in the birth chart from this perspective. And so right now, for, I want to say it's over 12, 15 years. Once again, I don't have the exact number. Neptune's going to be in Pisces for a while. And so we're all kind of really being asked to step up to the spirit side of life. You know, it's like, you know, this Capricorn transit, South Node, it's like, are the structures helping you be spiritual, or are the structures keeping you from being spiritual? Are you focused on the physical world to the detriment of the spirit world? Neptune wants you to focus on the spirit world. Neptune wants you to focus on being connected to God. Wants you to be not, you know, break down all the walls that keep you from realizing that you're a perfect image of true divine source. That's what's being asked of us right now. And all the transits that are happening underneath this cycle are all, in my humble opinion, it's not always so humble, designed to help us figure this out. And this next 6 months is going to be a very powerful time of opportunity for us to look within, to slow down in this retrograde period and really look at what's benefiting us. You know, especially from this Taurus new moon, it's like, Rich, what's nurturing us? What's benefiting us? What is calming us? What is relaxing us? What is, you know, meeting our needs? It's what's being asked of us right now. All right, seeing as how I'm unable to talk anymore, I think it's time for me to pass it back over to Brenda.
All right. Okay. So we are looking at a lot. I took a lot of notes this time. So I want to, so first off, just so y'all know, we kind of started off and we're just thinking everybody knows us. We just start talking, and that was Ralph Macintyre, for those of you who didn't know, Evolutionary Astrologer and Astrocartographer. And again, I'm Brenda Bailey. I am a Theta Healing Master and Instructor. So we do this every month. We do the new moon every month. We do the full moon every month, and we just do it the first and third Wednesday, which I will get with that with y'all. But we, Theta Healing, people can tell me how they think and how they feel, but what you create in your life is what you believe. And we hold those beliefs at a cellular level. So what Theta Healing does is it actually removes your beliefs at a cellular level, which allows your thoughts and emotions to follow. So what we pretty much see out there is that you change your thoughts, you change your beliefs, but it's actually the other way. And again, you can do it that way. There are many roads. I just, theta healing is like the easier, less difficult road. So that's why I do this for a living and have for almost 14 years. So I always make sure for my newbies, my newcomers this month, so welcome, that people do have 3 basic beliefs in place. I want an instant healing, I deserve an instant healing, and an instant healing is possible. So it is to your benefit. Your brain, the universe, whoever you believe to be your higher power, needs to hear you say yes out loud. And so I always make sure that you have those 3 basic beliefs, because what I do works very fast and it is really easy and quick. And I just want to make sure that you're not standing in the way of whatever else you're saying yes to. So I want an instant healing. I deserve an instant healing. An instant healing is possible. If you've not said yes to those ever before, please say yes out loud now, and we'll change those for you.
Yes, yes.
There are several areas that theta healing is just amazing with, and one are the beliefs. The other one is forgiveness, and the third thing is trauma resolution. So it sounds like that we're really at a point where we are looking at what we need to clear. And the big thing is with theta healing is what we say is that when you have a trauma, that you have these free-floating memories and you carry them around with you, and they actually attract. They will do one of 2 things. You have these free-floating memories, and it either acts as a magnet to attract that exact same trauma, or it causes you to project onto an event that's happening and make it that trauma. So either way, we have this that happens. So I often talk about removing the free-floating memories from the original event, because you may have had an event in this lifetime, but you've also had other lifetimes. Whether or not you believe in that is fine. But we want to go ahead and go to the original source so that we don't stay in this repeating pattern that is happening in our lives. So I'm going to ask, before we even get started, since this has kind of been like a subject that Ralph was talking about, is if you can think what comes to mind of like a major trauma that you can recall that you're wanting to release. Okay. I don't have to know what it is. You just need to be aware of it. So what is that? Okay. So what I would like to do for each and every one of you who is participating in this call and actually seeing us out there on Facebook land is I just want you to, you need to be aware what that trauma is. Or do you have a behavior that's like a phobia that you think is a result of a trauma, right? I just want you to have that in mind. And so what I would like to do is remove the free-floating memories from that event, as well as the original one that has anything to do with that one. And when we do that, it also will download you with what it feels like to feel differently, that it is possible, and that it is safe. And of course, how it serves you to go ahead and release that trauma. So if you would like that, just say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it seems like that we're going into a period of some evaluation and initiation, according to Ralph. And let me see, we've got a question, so let me make sure that we're. So in that case, Miranda, just to let you know, so she was just saying that she had the realization of a thought. Then we just want to remove, the free-floating memories. That's what we just did. That cause you to have that, feel that way about you, have that thought about yourself. So like I said, is it an actual event, or is it something that you're thinking of that, that you feel like is an awareness for that? So evaluation and initiation. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from being able to evaluate ourselves and our lives. And then we also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from going through an initiation with grace and ease. So again, what we get with that as well is that, like, what it feels like to do those for our highest and best good, how it serves us for our highest and best good, and that it is possible and that it's safe. So if you would like those, just say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
And, you know, with things that you have, you know, realizations that you have, like I do this, like when Ralph was talking about, like, if somebody's in crisis or, you know, he's not going to get his needs met, he sees that from his, you know, childhood. It may come from there. It may be even before that, right? So we always look from the original event. We can do that event if something specifically happened, or doing the original event, all right? So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from knowing what benefits us, okay? And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from having discernment on whether or not we want to make something happen. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from recognizing where our fear is coming from. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that limits our possibilities. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from knowing what we truly desire. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from our life being as good as we want it to be. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from deserving more. So if you would like those, now also keep in mind that you're also going to get, like, what it feels like to do it differently, that it is possible, that it is safe, and how it serves you for your highest and best good. And any definitions that you need to be in alignment with your higher power, right? So mine just happens to be God, so I talk about God or creator, because then that also gives us those definitions, like, say, like evaluation, initiation, you know, possibility, that those are in that highest and best objective definition, and that we're in alignment with that as well. So if you would like any of those, just say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Or all of those. How's that? Any and all. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from being aware and opening that window into the divine. And let's see. Darn it, I can't read my writing. So we also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from interacting with the non-physical world. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from having the discernment between the limitations of our brain and what is divine. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from having a major life transition easily and gracefully. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that we are obligated to have our limits tested. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from easily, gracefully, safely building a foundation for our life to be built on. So from creating a foundation that our life can be built on. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from unconditionally loving ourselves, irregardless of what challenges or what things are revealed to us about ourselves. So it's that unconditional love and acceptance. So if you would like those, again, keep in mind you're getting those any definitions that you need to be in alignment with Creator. You're getting also what it feels like to do these or to do them differently depending on the download, that it is possible and that it is safe. So if you would like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that you're obligated to be caught by a karmic trap. So you're obligated to have the existence of a karmic trap. And I want to remove the free-floating memories from the original karmic wound. And I want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents you from healing your karmic wound quickly, easily, painlessly. Let's go ahead and do those to begin with, because I think those are kind of big. So again, definitions and alignment, what they feel like, what they sound like, that it's possible, that it's safe, and then what it feels like to do it, right? Because we're talking about releasing these, and that it is possible and that it's safe and how it serves us for our highest and best good. So if you'd like those, just say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from embracing and really fully stepping into the sensual experience of Taurus, of the Taurus new moon.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from nurturing ourselves. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from taking care of ourselves. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that we are obligated to meet others' needs at the expense of ourselves. And we want to also, last but not least, remove the free-floating memories from the original event that we are obligated to focus on the physical at the detriment of the spiritual. So we're getting definitions, understanding what they feel like, that they're possible, that they're safe. We are also getting how it serves us for our highest and best good, what it feels like to do it differently or to do it depending on the download, that it is possible and safe as well. So if you would like those, just say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Anything else you want to add, Ralph, that I may have missed?
No. You got any questions? I don't think there's.
I'm not. So we saw this. So Bunny, I think Bunny is seeing us on Facebook Live. So here, she made a request because I think we did a post, or I did a post in the Moon Gatherings Facebook page, our group, and you know, we've covered a lot of it, talking about the major life transition with Pluto going into retrograde. So this is from April 24th until October 3rd. So you know, we're talking like going into the fall here, like what Ralph was talking about for the next 6 months. So this is retrograde illuminates the need to release anything harmful and out of alignment and bring in harmony, inner peace, health, and transformation. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from doing what we need to do. And we also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from having harmony, inner peace, health, and transformation. Again, getting all of those definitions that we're in alignment with them, we know what they feel like, that they're possible and that they're safe, how it serves us for our highest and best good, that it is what it feels like to do it or do it differently, depending on the download, that it's possible and safe as well. So if you would like those, just say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it was saying that we should expect emotional, mental, and spiritual renewal and regeneration, incredible opportunities replacing every disappointment, the elimination of whatever has been holding us back, easily letting go of whatever has already let go of you, dissipation of anything artificial, outdated, and unfulfilling, and also meaningful and soulful connections and amazing possibilities. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from having these expectations of Pluto in retrograde. And again, what it feels like to do all of those or to do them differently, depending on what we need, that it is possible and that it is safe, and how it serves us and for our highest and best good, and any definitions that we may need, and be in alignment with Creator's most objective definition. So if you would like those, just say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Anything, Ralph, come to mind?
No, I think you covered it.
All right, thank you. So give us just a second here. Just going to cover some information for y'all, just so you know, our next new moon gathering is Wednesday, June 5th. When you sign up for the moon gatherings, especially like the new moon, you only have to do it once. You will just get notification for it. So if you are on this webinar, you don't have to do that. But if you're not on the webinar and you would like to be, because the cool thing is that whether or not you can attend, you will get a copy of the recording. Okay, so that makes it nice. What's coming up next, though, is in 2 weeks, is the full moon gathering, which will be Wednesday, May 15th. And that is the third Wednesday of the month. So to register, I tell people, if you're seeing this, just take a picture. There's the link. There's the bit.ly link for the full moon gathering. All of those words of wisdom came from Ralph Macintyre, the Evolutionary Astrologer and Astrocartographer. This is his website, www.astro-map-links.com. Ralph makes this offer to our group, which is amazing. So he is this amazing astrocartographer, which if you don't know what that is, tell them what that is, Ralph, because I'll butcher it. What is astrocartography?
Astrocartography. If I can put my words back in. Astrocartography is astrology of location. Depending on where you move on the planet, your birth chart affects you differently. And the astrocartography can help you understand what's being asked of you in particular location.
So Ralph has this amazing offer for us to get, you put in like what your birth date is and date and time like you would for a chart, but you do this and you could get this 3D interactive map that shows you where all the major lines are for you and according to astrocartography. And it's a lot of fun and it's very cool and very inexpensive. So we've got some chatting up here, so let's just see. So Ralph, what if they don't know what time they're born? It's still up, Melissa. What should they do?
There's a thing called rectification. Excuse me, rectification, and what that is you use astrology to figure out your birth time. So I actually have a friend who does that. There's a bunch of astrologers who do that. If you don't have a birth time, if you email me and send me your birth information, there's a mapping system called Geodetic that does not need your birth time, and I will gladly give you a PDF geodetic map for you. All you need to do is email me, remind me, and give me the birth information you have, and I will email it back to you.
Okay, so they would go to, let's go back so that they will know this. They would actually go to your website here, astro-map-links.com, and and then he has a contact, right? You have a contact tab.
I think my email is on every page. So.
Okay. So, and again, when you use this link, it'll get you directly to that 50% off that he offers our group. If you want to know more about me, there's the link. Take a picture. If you want to hear more about ThetaHealing, I have a short video. If you want to know more about all the different things that I offer, which are, not just sessions, but I'm also instructor. I also coach. So I have different things that are available for people. I explained it all in this YouTube video. So if you'd like that. And if you liked the belief work, I also have a group where we just, it's kind of fun. I just do some beliefs work here or there. My dog wants to get picked up. Here, she's participating. So, so just go to
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where is that cute dog? I was going to say I wanted you to do a healing today on allowing the dog to say hi to us. Need a little cute dog healing.
Okay.
Thank you. Much better now.
So www.joinblastyourbeliefs.com will get you into that group, right? And then sometimes I feature pictures of Chula in there. So there you go. There's my baby, and who's always with me. And once again, if you would like to participate in, you want to know more about these monthly groups that we do as far as the moon gatherings, just go to www.joinmoongatherings.com. Let me see, we might have a few more questions here. Sorry, I'm waiting for there we go. Let's see here. Okay, I think people are just saying thank you, Ralph. So, and not just saying thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that and the feedback. But again, if you need to get a hold of any of us, the easiest place is on in our Facebook group. So, and if you didn't catch something, so either y'all knew Ralph or y'all know me, or y'all know somebody who knows Ralph or me, and they will be able to help you get a hold of us. So again, we appreciate y'all joining us. Please let other people know about this. I mean, I think there's so much going on, and just even what Ralph has been sharing with us, that I think it just is to our advantage to know what's going on, right? Knowledge is power. So, and then being able to have some work to be able to navigate through that is what our intention is for y'all. I'm guessing that's what our intention is. Would you agree with that, Ralph? So to
Yes,
give you
yes, yes,
information
yes.
and to be able to navigate through it.
Yes,
So
yes.
once again, we will see you all for the full moon on, wait, one more question, hold on. Oh yeah, we want everybody to join. This is anybody. We welcome anybody. So share the links with them so that they can, register for the webinar. Absolutely, would love for you to share that and get the word out. So, and it's free. And again, once you register for the webinar, once you register for the new moon, you're registered for all the new moons. Once you register for the full moon, you're registered for all the full moons. And it just makes it easier. And then you'll know about it, and then you'll get the recordings when you can't make it. When you can't make it live. But when you make it live, again, Ralph and I both welcome questions. So, and that's the advantage of being on the webinar versus being on Facebook Live. Just saying out there in Facebook land, join the webinars. So once again, everybody, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Thank you.